Hi, I'm Johrson. I'm 21 and I'm a digital media student at the College of Esports, and I went to Korea. As a whole, very good. It met my expectations of what I had of Korea from the many years that I've heard about it. I think there's a lot of opportunities and experiences that I think had I gone on my own or like did a trip on my own with like friends, I probably wouldn't have the same experience. Biggest highlight? There's so many choices for this, because I mean everything was great, but I guess if I had to pick one that really stuck up my head, um, probably was at the convenience store when the cashier was praising my Korean, because and no joke, he thought I was doing a major in Korean, like that's how good apparently it was. So I would have to say that was my highlight. I think one of the most valuable things I learned was how different the culture is there in terms of like the work culture, but also just esports culture. Like esports terms are quite casually used in conversation. Like that kind of thing is unheard of unless you're talking about like people talk about football. Like it's sort of that's the sort of equivalent in terms of the West, in terms of like how big esports is, right? Um, I think also as I mentioned, the work culture. I remember when the people at Genji, when they asked us to do like a introduce yourself type of thing. One of the things, and one of the questions I asked was, what are you trying to take from the work experience? And I said, I wanted to experience Korean work culture, to which, so, a couple months after, they told us that the culture's different. And having done the work experience now, I get it. It's so different because it's not the typical Korean culture of work hard. It is still work hard, but it's like not that like, it's like you can take time for yourself. You can actually rest and do things that you think are going to be beneficial to the company. Physically seeing things, like one of the VC Pacific casters. I watched him since Overwatch Contenders 2018. That's a very old reference for esports nowadays, but having seen him in person and having a conversation about the scene in Korea and just sort of Korean life, it's sort of met the expectation that I had in my head, but also added to it. In terms of my initial goals, yes, I did achieve what I wanted to do. One of those is being able to have a connection with people in Korea and some of the esports people there. And well, one of the big things that we're doing currently is working on the ESSR X COE Fearless Vanguard tournament, which having to like go back and forth between some of the Korean members of staff over there and doing things here on our end, and just basically trying to facilitate things and just doing my usual job of being a broadcast engineer. Like I'm doing that for a global tournament. Exploring the headquarters was amazing. It's quite so the way that the sort of like work culture is. It's very much like not loosey-goosey, but it's not as restrictive as working in an office, right? So there's a lot of freedom of how you can work. And that also goes to like some of the stuff we worked, which I can't really talk about. But the projects we worked on, like if they were like, okay, this is our expectation. You don't have to go with expectation, but it'd be nice to. I mean, pretty much as we want to as human beings, we push past the expectation, and they are impressed. So I think work experience was nice, and I think it's very much driven me into wanting to go back and actually work and live in Korea, as I've come to, as much as I've already known about the culture, I've always appreciated it, but now that I've been there in person to actually experience it in real life, it's really sort of had the thought of I would love to maybe spend the rest of my life there. I think it's benefited my studies quite well. Obviously, I do the course is business and digital media, so understanding how Korean esports business is conducted is something very good to know for my course. Additionally, in terms of the digital media side, understanding sort of the players and like their player personalities and how to bring that out. That's something that's actually quite in the way that they do it in Korea is quite insightful. Also learning how the Korean media works as well. That's also been very insightful.